Hello again, this is PC Delta Link, and we're back with more of our Enigmatica 2 Let's Play Normal Mode, and this is episode 115. Alright, we got a lot of stuff we're going to try to do today, and I do not plan for it to run as long as last episode. I apologize that ran for almost an hour and a half. I did not intend for it to be that long. I should have broken it up into 2 episodes. Just upload them a day apart, because that's a long video to have in one sitting for some people. Alright, so what are we going to do today? Well, the first thing we're going to do is, you might notice on the upper left-hand corner, I've got a couple upgrades in my spacesuit, and I'll go over those with you briefly. We're going to get some materials off the moon that spawn there that we need. And then we're going to try to get into satellites and how to use those and what to do with them. And if we're really lucky, we'll look into getting a space station established. So let's start with the upgrades. So we kind of rushed through this suit workbench last time we were here. We really just did it just to get our oxygen tanks in here. First off, you can see we have high pressure tanks now, super high pressure tanks. And those are now using titanium, which, here we go. Which these are just made like the other tanks in our rolling machine over there with titanium sheets, which are just the titanium plate run through the rolling machine. So not that hard to get now that we have access to titanium. But they're pretty much full. I'll go ahead and... There we go. Make sure they're full. Oh, I always forget this. I leave the thing in the workbench and not on me. Okay, now it's full. But we have a couple other upgrades too. We don't have anything on the helmet yet, but we got a first upgrade on our legs here, which is the Bionic Leg upgrade. And this basically lets us move faster. So let me just leave it out for a sec. And so that's our sprint speed right now. We do have, last time we didn't take any of our Britannia baubles or anything with us to the moon. Now we do have those equipped, now that I feel a bit safer on that. So those are with us this time, so our sprint speed is faster than vanilla at least. But now if we have this with us, now look at us. Yeah, it is way faster. I actually built a second one. I've got it right here. But I actually didn't keep it in here because I felt like it was almost too fast. Like, I'll just put it in here real quick so you guys can see. Because, yeah, you can stack these. I'm assuming you could have 4 if you really wanted it. But let me put it back on and sprint with this. Yeah, it's almost too fast to control if I'm truly full out sprinting at that point. So that's why 1 is fine. Hello, real quick, I noticed when I was reviewing the footage before I uploaded the episode that I did not go over the recipe for the Bionic Leg upgrade. So it's made in the Precision Assembler, and it's made with a control circuit board and the basic motor. The basic motor, since we hadn't used that recipe before either, is 3 steel plate, 2 steel rods, and 2 copper coils. And the copper coils, of course, is just a square of 8 copper ingots. So that's all there is to the Bionic Legs. They're not very complicated, but yeah, sorry I missed that during the episode. Anyway, back to it. And then last but not least, for the boots, we have the padded landing boots. Those do exactly what you think they would do. They cushion fall damage and either eliminate entirely or lessen it. I haven't done extensive testing to figure it out. So these aren't too bad to make, actually. They're in the Precision Assembler, and it's just a pair of leather boots, a feather, one of our control circuit boards, and then an advanced circuit. I'm not sure if we've gone into advanced circuits yet, so I'm going to go over the recipe real quick. It's not that expensive. You need your cutting machine with an advanced circuit plate, and that gets you 4, which is nice. And for the advanced circuit plate, it's again in the Precision Assembler with a gold ingot, a block of redstone, and a silicon wafer. So yeah, and then the silicon wafer we've gone over before, the boules, and the cutting machine. So yeah. It's really not that expensive, but it's nice to have it. So alright, so anyway, first thing we're going to do today is we need to go back to the moon. I had mentioned that there was materials that were only accessible on the moon, and I've done a little bit of scouting on the moon, and we are ready to go with that. So we've got our spacesuit equipped, all 4 pieces. We're not going to take the rocket. You might recall I set up in our advanced dislocator the moon as a teleport spot, so we are just going to teleport to the moon using this. So here we go. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. My bad. I just remembered one last thing we're going to need. Torches do not work on the moon, obviously, because there's no oxygen. So we're going to need what are known as thermite torches. So thermite torches are something that Advanced Rocketry added into the game, and they require thermite and a stick to get you 4, so it's the same recipe in that sense, but instead of coal, you're using thermite. Thermite is created from 2 pulverized iron and a pulverized aluminum, and that gets you 3. Ah, we don't have any of that. Now, I believe I taught the system thermite. I did. So I'm going to have it craft me... Let's just do a stack. 64. Let's just get a stack. Yeah. So we'll wait a second, because that shouldn't take this system long to figure that out. There we go. Let's finish it up there real quick. Okay, thermite torches. I believe they'll work in the overworld too. Yeah, and they just look different compared to the regular torches. But otherwise, they're the exact same. So, alright, now we're ready to go to the moon. I just needed some light sources to work with on the moon. So here we go. Okay. We're back. Because see, like, if we place torches, see, it just instantly goes out. It's just gone. But the thermite torches, hey, light. So that's why we brought those with us. As you can see, we did a little bit of... We got 2 waypoints over here to get to. I'll just go ahead. I could teleport over there, but they're close enough. I'll just walk to them, especially with these bionic legs making us super fast. But the main resource we need off the moon is known as dilithium. You can see some right here on this waypoint I've got here. Because I found some in a surprising spot. I was actually really surprised this spawned naturally. This hole right here. And let me check the... Okay, it is bright, so I'll go ahead and use torches. I don't need them, but I know you guys probably can't see jack if I don't have the torches equipped. So I'll go ahead and pull them up here so you guys can see things. Now, there are no mobs on the moon. I think I mentioned that last time, but so you are completely safe while you're in this dimension. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to keep things lit if you don't want to. And I was kind of wandering around here blindly earlier and just kind of, you know, placing stuff down and doing whatever. But the main resource we're looking for, and there's your standard stuff here, of course, you know, iron and whatnot. But we are after this stuff right here. This is dilithium ore. This stuff is only on a few spots, the moon being one of those places. And so we are going to hope that our fortune enchantment really helps us out with this thing. And why am I doing this? I can vein mine. There we go. Oh, that's cool. The blocks have low gravity. That's kind of cool. I didn't catch that. There's probably not much else in here that's worth getting. Oh, a little bit more. But yeah, we will need this stuff, so this is good to get. And I found a bigger spot that has a lot more of this stuff. Oh, a little bit more. But because I don't know exactly how much of this stuff we're going to need, we're just taking pretty much every scrap of it that we can. Oh, I see some back here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of here, and the Nimbus Pendant really helps, because I don't need a jetpack when I can jump 3 times. A 3 times jump in low gravity is pretty awesome. And yeah, over here, I just decided to dig down randomly, just decided to burrow into the moon, and I stumbled across a ravine. So... Again, I'll throw some torches up here. Did I actually dig this straight, even though I was blind? That's actually not bad. Although the falling is kind of weird. At low gravity, it takes longer to fall down than I would think it would. But yeah, this is actually a pretty big ravine I found in here. So, and there's lots of dilithium in here. It's so nice knowing that everything is safe here and I don't have to worry about being... like having a creeper come up on me or something, because this spacesuit is not great armor. So, if I feel oddly vulnerable being outside my draconic armor that makes me basically god tier immortal. It feels weird being that way. So let's get down to the floor of this place. Because I glanced down and saw a ton of dilithium in this place. I mean, just, yeah, look at all this. It is everywhere down here. So, we're going to get all of this stuff. And that low gravity jump is really high. That was one jump. Oh, and that was something else I found too. A couple of blocks of it at least. That's rutile ore. That is the source for titanium normally. So, we'll take this with us as well, just to have it. But yeah, so now you know what rutile ore looks like. I don't expect it's very common. Although I say that and I found a vein of like 8 blocks of it there apparently. But still, it's pretty nifty. So, whoops. So for now, while I'm just gonna basically probably mine here for the next 15-20 minutes or so. Basically, until I have a full inventory or something similar. How many have I got already? Already got 3 stacks. I mean, I'll take more, but still, I'm not sure how much of this I actually need. I just wanted to get a good amount to where we don't run out anytime soon. Since this place is the only place I currently have access to where I can actually get this stuff. There's some more rutile ore. But yeah, so I might mine around here for a little bit longer. Let me see if there's anything else interesting while we're down here. Lava, which I am no longer immune to at the moment, so I do need to be careful. Yeah, a ton of ore here if I actually wanted to sit and mine all this. I'm not going to, but it's an option. I love that one block there floating all by itself. Alright, but yeah, I will see you guys in a couple minutes when I finish mining. Alrighty, we're just about done up in here. I think we've got plenty of this stuff for now. Geez, we've gone through a lot of food. So you can see we've got quite a bit of ore with us. Let me use up some of our quest reward food I got. The JEI lists dilithium is spawning around... Oh my gosh, that was a lot right there. Holy cow. It lists dilithium spawning around Y level 36, just FYI. At least for this planet. My gosh. How much do I... Okay, yeah, we're pretty much full. Our inventory's like full at this point. Where did that even go? Oh, that's normal torches. This cave is massive. There is so much stuff here. And yeah, I'll take titanium. All the titanium we can get. My word. It's so nice that it's completely... Yeah, okay, so dilithium's apparently fairly common once you're at the right level to find it. Because I went through some of the caves up on the surface of the moon and found, like, nothing. So, clearly you just have to go a little bit underground and you are showered with the stuff, for crying out loud. So that's good to know. I think I will put a marker down here for, let's see. Dilithium cave. Sure. But for now, let's head back to base. We've got basically a full inventory of this stuff, so I don't think we need to stick around here any longer for the moment. It's alright, see you guys in a sec. Oh, let's take this rutile. Rutile is rare enough and titanium is a pain enough to get that I do want all of it I can get. Alright, oh, rutile. Okay. Alright, now we're leaving. Alright, welcome back. So, of course, the first obvious question is, what do we do with this dilithium, or how can we process it? And there's a couple things we can do. Can smelt it into dilithium dust. Our best bet's probably going to be this one. We can use our enrichment chamber to get 2 dilithium crystals per ore. And then the crystals, if we need them to be, can actually be crushed back into the dilithium dust. So it looks like the best we can do is doubling our ore output with this. So we're just going to do that. In the meantime, I'm going to throw some stuff in here. Oh, it's iron. Well, that alone right there will be more than we need for today, I'm sure. I'll throw the, I'll just throw the rest of it back in the AE network for now. And while I'm at it, how do you process rutile? Efficiently, I should say. Oh! Oh, you could use this into slurry? Oh, heck yes! So we could get 5 ingots per. That's frickin' awesome. Okay then, yeah, throw the rutile in here for crying out loud. Let's see. Eject on. There we go. Oh, very nice. Okay, cool. Alright, I do not need this much dilithium either. So let me get this down to about a stack worth. And then let me see if I can get some... Does it enrich that back into the crystal? It does! Okay, hang on. Alright, so we're going to turn off the eject for a second. Crush down, like, half a stack worth right here. Yeah, this is good. Because we need some of the actual dust for this. Alright, now turn the eject back on so that can keep processing. Okay, so we'll keep the rest of that with us for the moment. So, alright, one of the first things we're going to need to build a satellite is we're going to need a satellite builder. Hey, go figure, right? Just like we had the rocket building station, now we have the satellite builder. This is actually a fairly complex block for what's required to make it. There's a lot of ingredients in here. So you have our titanium plate, you have a hopper, 2 of our basic circuits, a machine structure, a saw blade assembly, an anvil. I mean, what the heck is this recipe? Any motor. I used an advanced motor because that's what I had, but you can use any of the tiers of motor to create this, whatever you have laying around to work. And then a data storage unit. I don't know if we've gone over data storage units. We're going to be using them a lot today, so I'll go ahead and show the recipe. But it's just an emerald, a basic circuit, and a piece of redstone dust in the precision assembler. So that's how you get that. So this is what's going to let us construct satellites. Well, part of it anyway. There's a lot of stuff involved in building satellites. Alright, another thing we're going to need is a rocket monitoring station. This is because when we send satellites up into space, they're basically autonomous rockets that we're not actually piloting. The satellites go up on their own. And if you don't have this, you can't actually launch the rockets. Because you're not on it to, like, say, take off or whatever. So you're going to need some copper rods. This can just be made in the crafting table. Just 3 ingots like this is just fine. Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but this is... It's actually more efficient to do it this way. Go figure. Yeah, it's most efficient to do metal press, but we haven't gotten into immersive engineering. Don't know if we ever will either. Not sure yet. But yeah, so just stick with this recipe for now. A small battery, we've used those in the past. Just our tin, iron, redstone, 4. The optical sensor is new. So the optical sensor... It's an interesting recipe. It's just a gold plate, a piece of glowstone dust, and then 3 of any pane of glass. And you're going to need a decent amount of these for what we're doing today, so probably make a few. But all that together with a machine structure gets us the rocket monitoring station. Let's see here. Another thing we're going to need to actually talk with our satellites once they're up in orbit is we're going to need a satellite terminal. We're going to need a few of these, actually. I've made 3. And just left this one disassembled. But it's 2 optical sensors, 2 copper rods, 2 redstone repeaters, a small battery, a machine structure, and our user interface. So that's a satellite terminal, and somewhere I've got 2 more of those. There we go. And then you're going to need this as well. This is the Astrobody Data Processor. Basically how this works is we send up the satellites into orbit, and they gather data for us. And they send that data back to us. We're able to collect that data, and using this machine, the Astrobody Data Processor, we are able to convert that data into something we can use. So this takes 3 tin plates, a machine structure, a user interface, 2 tracking circuits, and 2 planet ID chips. We'll go over the tracking circuits first. It's just a basic circuit plate, an eye of ender, and a piece of redstone dust in the precision assembler. And then the planet ID chip is even easier. It's 2 basic circuit with a satellite ID chip, and then the satellite ID chip is just a basic circuit. So literally it's 3 basic circuits. And that gets us the Astrobody Data Processor. Now, as you might imagine, the Astrobody Data Processor is a multi-block structure, so that's what the rest of this is. It also has 3 of a new block we haven't used before called a data bus. The data bus is very cheap. It's a data storage unit and a machine structure. That's it. That's your data bus. You'll need 3 of those for this multi-block. So let's see. Where do I want to put this? You know, for today, until I figure out a more permanent spot for it, we might just put it right here in the middle of the room. So let me scroll through and get our Astrobody Data Processor right here. And then right there? Too far away. That's good enough. And it's not very tall. It's just 2 layers tall. So let's go ahead and get through this and get all the stuff put in here that we... Not that. Data bus. Output hatch. All this stuff. Okay, so here's the output hatch. Input hatch. I probably should have built this the other way. You know what? We'll do that real quick. I'm sorry. There we go. That way the power plug is on this side closer to the cables here. Okay. Again, this is a temporary spot. I'll end up figuring out a better spot to put this in between episodes and have a more hidden way to power it underground. Alright, got our 3 data buses in the back. Need our power input plug, which we got right here. And now we need the Astrobody Data Processor and some stone slabs. Which is a strange block to use for this, but hey, I'm not complaining. It's cheap, that's what matters. Alright, and now we form it. Hey, there we go. Looks kind of cool, actually. I kind of like it. Alright, let me get some cables, which... I should have some cable on me. Yeah, here we go. Advanced cable. That'll work for today. There we go. It's got power. Okay, we'll get into more what to do with this interface once we actually get some satellites up and running and have some data to work with. Okay, so we have our satellite builder, we got the satellite terminals, got the rocket monitoring station. That needs to go back in here. We're gonna need the linker, so let me grab that. And then what do we got here? Okay, yes, I need that too. And then... might need those later. Okay. So, actually, I could just... well, no. It's fine. Okay, I need to... I forget how to disassemble this. Hang on. Nope. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, we're going to need this for other rockets, so let me... let me get all this stuff back. And we'll safely put this in our backpack here. Structure, seat, engine... store some of the excess crystals in here. I don't need this stuff quite this second. Okay, that should be good. So for... oh, okay, Earth. So for the satellites, we're going to need the satellite builder hooked up, and it doesn't have to be right here next to the place. We're just going to put it here just because that's probably going to be easier to do. So let me get our satellite builder. Let me throw that guidance. Let me get rid of the thermite torches and the guidance computer. I don't need that either. That's part of that rocket. Now, something that confused the heck out of me for ages. So I try to put down the satellite builder. It doesn't connect to the power, and it keeps saying it's missing something. It doesn't tell you what it's missing, and I end up having to Google this to figure out what the heck I was doing wrong. It needs a power input plug. So, and then you place the satellite builder on top of that, and now the satellite builder will function properly. So now if you look in here, this interface is kind of complicated. So you basically need several different components to actually create the satellite, which we're going to go back to our little workbench over here and create. Oops. So let me get into our advanced rocketry here. There we go. Now there is 3 different types of satellites you can build, and each one sends back different types of data. You will need all 3 of these in order to get into exploring other planets and similar things. So what determines what kind of satellite it is depends on one of these 3 components you install with it. Either the optical sensor, the composition sensor, or the mass detector. So all 3 of these send back different data. So we're going to start with an optical sensor, composition scanner, or composition sensor. Just need another optical sensor. That's really not bad, actually. Composition scanner. You see these recipes aren't too bad, you know. Wafers, sensors, circuits, tracking circuits. Oh, I lost my other optical sensor because I sent it in there. Okay. And then our mass detector, yes, this one requires a dilithium crystal. So this is one of the first things we had to create to... oh, I'm going to need 2 more of these. There we go. Crap. I keep pulling the optical sensor out of my inventory into the crafting table, so I'm going to throw it in my backpack. Okay, so there's our mass detector. So now we have one of each of the 3 types of satellites. And the next thing the satellites need is they require power to function while they're in space. So the best thing you could probably give them, there is just some basic solar panels you can use for this from Advanced Rocketry. And they're not too bad. 3 redstone, 3 glowstone, 3 gold plate. It's really not that expensive. But we're going to try to build 3 for each satellite. So let me grab this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 3 for each satellite. So that should be good for now. Eventually, I'll get 2 of each satellite, but for today, I'll only worry about getting 1. And then what else do we need? We're going to need satellite ID chips, which we've already seen how to get those, but yeah, we need them anyway. So let me get... We're going to need 6 of these. The reason being is we need duplicates of every chip that we create today. And we'll get into how to get those and duplicate them when we get to that point of actually building the satellite. And then the one of the last things we need the actual empty satellite. So we're just getting some of the extra pieces, but we haven't actually built the empty satellite. Here's the satellite itself. And this requires titanium rods, control circuit board, and then 6 aluminum sheet. The aluminum sheet, of course, only comes from our rolling machine over there. So I do not have this recipe programmed yet, but I do have some aluminum plate ready to go here. So let me just drop the aluminum plate into the input hatch here. There we go. Now, something also, this wasn't previous... Oh, that has a little gears on the back. That's kind of cool. I didn't notice that before. I did not have an output hatch hooked up to this thing. We do now. We have our item conduit pulling into a chest, followed by an import bus connecting with our line down here. So the rolling machine is now fully automated for actually putting recipes into it and taking stuff out of it if need be. So just FYI. I also went through, like I said I was going to do, and upgraded every machine we had with either with titanium coils instead of aluminum coils, and also, oh, what is it? Is it advanced motors? Let's see. Where's the motor at? Okay, I'm working too hard. Hang on. There we go. Enhanced motor. Okay. So yeah, all the engines that, or all the motors in our stuff that were previously advanced motors, they are now enhanced motors. So yeah, all of our machines have been upgraded as far as they can be at this point in time. Okay, so our aluminum sheets should be done now, so let's get our satellite built. And again, we're going to need 3 of these to start with. So 1, 2, do they stack? They do not. 3. I didn't figure they would stack. Okay, and we got our other materials. We should be good to go. Oh, we need one last thing. The satellites will require data storage so that they can hold the data they're going to be transmitting back to us. So we're going to need some data storage units. You can see I already have some built here for us. We're going to need 3 for each one, so 9 altogether. And then, I gotta pause while I do this. I gotta have to get rocket pieces for each of these. You know, we're gonna have to get fuel tanks, engines, and whatnot for all these. And I'll end up losing these rockets once they're sent up. So I'll be back in a moment once I get those built. Okay, we're back. And we got our pieces we need for some tiny little rockets here. So they're very basic. We just got 3 engines, 6 fuel tanks. I tried it with 4 instead of 6 fuel tanks, and it was not enough fuel. And there's one last little new piece here we had to have. This is the satellite bay. What the satellite bay does is that essentially is what is holding our satellite, and we're going to send it into orbit inside that. The satellite will then be released from within the satellite bay. So let me find that again. Here it is. It's not very expensive, just some titanium rods with machine structure in the middle. So let me go ahead and grab 2 more of these. Okay, so now we should be able to build our satellites, load them up in the satellite bay, and launch it. So now, let me check something else here, too. Oh, right, I can't tell. So this is where we need the rocket monitoring station that I had talked about. So I'm just going to plug that and put that right here. Yeah, I didn't think so. So yeah, there is no fuel currently in this rocket. So let me get our linker. Then I'm going to test something as well. You know, last time we had linked the fuel station here to the actual rocket. What I've heard since then is that if you actually link it to the rocket assembly machine, then any rocket that you build here will be fueled by this setup. So we're going to try to link this. So shift right click and then shift right click. Okay, says link successfully. Oh, I know why it's probably not fueling it yet as well, because we haven't actually built the rocket yet. We've just scanned it, which I'll do it again just to have it on screen again. So yeah, clear for liftoff. So let me go ahead and build this. Okay, and now, yes, I see the fuel going into it. So, or it should be. It shows it is it not? That's very strange. Let me try this. Let me just see what we got here. Is it not updated properly? No, it's got fuel. Let me check my pipes downstairs just to be certain. Yeah, our tank's still in the positives. Good, we're still running. I was slightly concerned. I'm glad to see still numbers in here, because since I upgraded the chemical reactors, I was concerned that they might outpace the electrolyzers, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But I'm not sure why that doesn't seem to be fueling. Yeah. That is so weird. Maybe it is fueling and I just can't tell. I'm going to link it back to the other one since it still showed the same line there. Okay, so let's get on to building the actual satellite now inside of our satellite builder. So okay, we have our satellite ID chips. We got to put our empty satellite here in this spot. We need a satellite ID chip right here. And then see this little spot of the top 3 here that I'm mousing over? That is where we're going to put our 3 solar panels. And then in the I/O spot, we're going to put our 3 data buses, or data storage units. And then in our top one here, this top right spot, this is where you put one of these 3, either the composition sensor, the mass detector, or the optical sensor. We'll start with the optical sensor. And then we're also going to put a unprogrammed chip here. Oh, I had to have the program chip first. Okay, so let me go ahead and click build. You can see the little processing going on here. Okay, and now you see we have a satellite optical telescope. ID is 0. Data storage is 3K. Each of these holds 1,000 data, so 3K. And power generation is 3. So let me go ahead and grab that. Now you see our satellite ID chip here, ID is 0. So we're going to take an unprogrammed satellite chip, and you see this green one, write to secondary chip. So then you process this, and now we have a second copy of the satellite ID chip. You must have another copy of this in order to talk to it later. So make sure you copy it. And I think you can copy any chip in here. And I'm going to test this by taking my Planet IG chip for Earth and get an unprogrammed chip. I should be able to copy this too. Yes. So you can use the satellite builder to copy any of these chips into a second chip. So always good to have. Alright, so give me just a second here. I think we're pretty much about ready though. Let me see here. I'm going to set up our satellite terminal in here for now, near our astrobody processor, and yes, I will have a different spot for this at some point. Okay. So see how this works is you have to have your chip in here, and then your other chip, I believe, goes with the satellite. I think. Whoops. Oh, see, it's got full fuel. I don't know why. I guess it's just not showing on here. Okay, so yeah, it has full fuel. So alright, we go into our satellite bay. Go ahead and put our optical telescope in here. Maybe... Alright, I guess we'll find... If we screw it up, we'll just have lost the satellites. No, not a huge thing. So, okay. For some reason, I thought you had to send one chip with it. Oh, well. So... Why we had to build the rocket monitoring station is, we can't right-click this. We can't get on it. There's no seat, obviously. We can't go with this. So we have to go into the rocket monitoring station to actually launch this thing into orbit. So let's go ahead and try it and see if I screwed up or not. Apparently I'm doing something wrong. Awesome. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, I figured out what I did wrong, I think. So, I hadn't actually linked the rocket monitoring station with the rocket assembly machine or the rocket either one. Once I did that, it actually shows a fuel level now, so I believe this will now work properly. So let's go ahead and launch it. Okay. Oh, wait. Those are promising noises. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so now we'll keep an eye on the altitude here. And once it hits the top of this, we should be good, and the satellite should actually be in orbit. Okay. Man, it gets smoky around that launch pad. Almost there. So yeah, simple fix. It wasn't anything major. I just forgot to link it. That's all. not a big deal. Okay, so our satellite should be in orbit now. Oh, that looks kind of trippy. But our satellite should be in orbit now. So let's go over to the satellite terminal here. And now if we have our satellite ID chip that matches the satellite up in orbit. So now we click this connect. And you see there's already some data in here. Some distance data. So what we can do here is we can take a data storage unit and we can store the data to the chip, which we just did. And now if we put another one in here, it should slowly be filling up. I'm actually surprised it already had 1,000 data in it. But it should fill up with data. Slowly. Should, anyway. Okay, I'm not sure how we're getting so much data so quick. Data 4. Wait a second, is that how much data it's currently got? Okay, now we're... Okay, data 1, 4 out of 1,000, 2. This was a little odd how this kind of worked. Destroy satellite. Yeah, let's not. Okay, so we already have 3,000 distance data, which I was not expecting to get that quick. Okay, so it looks like... So this is... Okay, so the data here is live data being gathered from the satellite. You can see, outside the initial bit we got here, it acquires it very slowly to... etc., etc. Yeah, I am shocked we got so many distance chips already. I don't know if that was a bug, or if it was supposed to do that since we sent 3 up there with it. I don't know. That just seems really odd to me. But okay, so that's great. So our satellite is doing its thing, and yeah, it's just slowly working on that. So let's get our next one going here. And I might try something on this second one. So I think I read somewhere that if you give the satellite rocket a guidance computer and then a chip back to Earth, whoops, that it will actually come back down to this launch pad when it's done. So we're going to try that since we got a copy of the chip. I don't know if it's going to work, but hey, why not? What have I got to lose, right? Right. So let's take our guidance computer. I just took the one from our other rocket that we used to fly. So there's our satellite bay, guidance computer, and then we'll go ahead and scan it. Okay, go ahead and build it. Alright, and it should be filling up with fuel. It is. This is now properly updating since it's linked to it properly. Alright, let's shift right click. We'll go into the guidance computer, put a copy of our Earth ID chip in it, and then we'll go to the satellite bay. Oh, we haven't built our second satellite yet. Let's get our empty chassis. That's ID 0. We'll get our mass detector for that. Get 3 solar panels. Oh, we're like out of data storage units because we use so many gathering that data. Let's just take all 7. That's fine. Okay. Get 3 data storage units again. Mass detector. And now we need the ID chip. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and build it. Okay, there's our ID 1. We'll go ahead and get an extra copy of the chip just in case, because you never know. Alright. So now, this is why we built 3 satellite terminals. So now let's go ahead and open this again, back to our satellite bay. We'll put our mass scanner satellite in here. And we should be clear to launch. We are. So I will go ahead and launch it. Yep, there it goes. I'm gonna go get rid of the rain in the meantime. Yep, it's taken off. Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can go get rid of the rain in the meantime. Weather, stop. Why does it seem to always frickin' rain here? I swear it rains like every other day, if not every day in this place. We're close to a desert for crying out loud. Jeez. And skip to sunrise. Okay, so let's see if our rocket monitoring station shows anything for this. Okay, we're not quite in orbit yet, we're close. So I'll be interested to see if it does come back down, if that actually works. It'd be kind of nice if it would, so I wouldn't have to keep wasting rockets to send those up there, but we'll see. I don't know if that actually will have done it or not. Oh. Well, I'd say that did work. Ha ha ha! Well, sweet. So you can recover these. Okay, cool. Okay, it's back. And refueling properly? Yes, it is. Okay. The satellite bay is empty. So let's go see if our other satellite can be connected to. Let me grab another terminal here. And we'll just plunk it right here for now. Jeez, this looks tacky as heck. Okay. Where's our ID1? Oh, up here. And, oh yeah, so yeah, it's already got 3K worth of data. Okay. So let's go ahead and connect to that. Store to chip. I can't because there's 3 there. Store to chip. Connect, store to chip. Connect, store to chip. Okay. So, alright, we already got 3, so each of these is going to give us 3K of each of it. That's nice. Alright, so now, last but not least, we'll send up our final one. We're going to need some more data storage units, clearly. We'll get like 20 of them, sure. Alright, so we can save our satellite bay parts for right now and whatnot, because apparently we can send this back, so cool. We'll just build the last one then, and reuse this rocket again. I'm assuming my ID chip is still in the guidance computer? Yes, it is. Okay. This is great. It's so much nicer. Okay. Empty satellite, composition scanner, 3 solar panels, 3 data storage units, and an empty chip, and build. Okay, there it is, and we'll go ahead and copy that, just in case. And I'll move these copied chips to somewhere more secure. Because again, if you ever lose these chips, if for some reason you lose both of them, or whatever, and your satellite's gone, you can't talk to it. It's gone. It'll just be up there forever. So yeah, never ever lose these chips. Alright, so let's go ahead and plunk it down in here. Got our composition scanner. And our fuel should be good. It is. Let's launch. We'll go ahead and throw our other satellite terminal here. ID2. I gotta say, that came back pretty quick, too. That didn't take long for that to make its way back here after we got done with that. There's probably an Enderman below here, judging by the sound on it. I'm so glad that works, because that does save us material. Although now I kind of hate that I went to all the trouble of making all this extra stuff that I don't need, but hey, we'll save it for, like, a bigger rocket at some point. In fact, I'll just throw them back in our system for right now. Okay, and the satellite bay, too. Okay. Is it done yet? Oh yeah, it's done. Okay, so it should be coming back shortly. Did I see movement out there? It's hard to tell with the... Oh, and that's like a eclipse going on up there too, or it just happened. One of the two. Interesting. Yep, there it is. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So that is all 3 of our satellites in orbit where they should be. So let's see. It already shows... Oh, we need our data storage units. Yeah, we'll need 3 of them. Okay, and 3,000 units of composition data. All right. Okay, so what I think we have to do next... Let me just throw these here for now. I need a Planet ID chip that is blank. Did I not craft it? Oh. Okay, took it a second. So let me grab this and see if... Because I haven't used this machine before, obviously. Well, this whole mod's new to me. Who am I kidding? Okay, Okay, so let me grab one of each of these chips. Composition, mass, distance. We'll store it to the buffer. Composition, okay. Oh, maybe they have to be in a certain spot? Yeah, okay, they're in a certain spot. Okay. So it goes, yeah, composition, distance, mass. Okay. Chips are empty, so they can stack again. Now, I believe... yeah. I'm doing something wrong. Let's see here. I'll be back again. Okay, so I did some checking, and apparently I misunderstood quite how this stuff is used. So the satellite data is not primarily used for finding new planets at this time. It's more so used for asteroid mining, which we are not going to have time to get into asteroid mining today. I do not want to run this episode as long as I did last month. That went way too long, and I'm sorry about that again. But I think that's going to be it for now. So I want to thank you guys for your patience on my schedule with school and whatnot. I know this upload schedule isn't ideal. Once a month sucks. I get it. I'm not a huge fan of it either. But yeah, it's temporary. This will be done in time. I just finished my first class, so I start my next one pretty soon. They last for 8 weeks at a time, so it's a lot of stuff crammed into those 8 weeks. So, unfortunately, it's a lot of work while they are going on. I believe the next class starts this coming week. Or next week, one of the two. Either way, soon. But, yeah, for now, we'll get into space stations next episode, as well as asteroid mining, and hopefully expanding space stations as well. So, yeah, look forward to that one pretty soon. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.